What up? It's been a while. I mean, I'll do these videos now, like, if I'm going on a hike or some shit. But I figured I'd do a little check-in, keep my channel alive still. Over the last couple of days, I've had a lot of time to think. In fact, yesterday I was at the gym and my earphones started working. And I thought about how upset I was for a little bit. And I just kept fucking with it, trying to make it work. And then I thought to myself, I'm like spending all this time and it's making my life unmanageable currently. And so I put them back in my pocket and I just continued to put in that work. And it gave me the ability to think. To really think. Sometimes, like, sitting in quiet, even if I'm like surrounded with people, I like to be distracted with music or something like that, but sometimes, like, my higher power will do something for me. You know, they work today, so I was meant to not have them work. I was meant to also be like, okay, this was supposed to happen, and then just think. And I got to think a lot about, like, where I was and how far I've come and where I'm at. You know, yesterday I got to take the kids and get their costumes, and at least some of them, most of them. 3 down, 1 to go. I got to walk into a meeting and it was completely filled up. Share the message, not the mess. And my life is so much better than it was a little over a year ago. I'm sitting on a year and a month and 2 weeks now. And yeah, soon I'll have like 10 more months to go. That to go is like 2-year marker. I got to 2 years before. And so I'm on this road to, you know, technically speaking, the infinity coin or chip, which is, you know, die clean. But, you know, I feel like that's far ahead. And the longer I keep putting in this work, the longer my life is extended. But eventually, you know, we all pass. And yesterday was about making a difference. Today, for me, it's more about gratitude. There's this prayer I do every morning now. In the beginning, it says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." And that, like, just that line itself, because the Lord is my higher power. Everybody has a, you know, in my program has a different higher power. Some people have the same as mine. But if I live my life by that saying, and I focus on what I need, not what I want, and that my higher power has me, if I just focus on just that, there's a lot more to that prayer than that. Especially when I think about when it was written and who it was written by. You know, a person who was being chased by everybody. The leader wanted him dead. So he sat down and wrote this to give him faith. I've lived a life where I've lived a season of my life, a long one, where I felt like people didn't like me and they hated me. I didn't feel like anybody wanted me dead. And here was somebody who wrote this psalm where they felt like, well, they knew that they were being hunted and they had to hide. And they wrote the most beautiful piece on how to get through it. And they had defeated, at an early age, some giants. Whether you believe it or not, it was written by that person who was being chased and dead. So it made me, it really, when I think about it, it makes me think like, you know, do I have the faith that in the midst of, you know, people wanting me dead and people looking for me, do I have the faith to put it on my higher power? Do I have the faith to put it in God? And I'm lucky that I don't have to live like that. I'm grateful that I'm not being hunted or chased. And that the only thing that I'm running from is my disease. And the one thing I'm running to is my serenity. I watched a video today where a gentleman said, we only have one life. That's it. We get this one life. Why are we not running to our dreams like our life depended on it? It was very interesting to me. All these days that passed by, that I wished were over. And I was meant to experience that. But today, I don't live like that. Sure, I make mistakes. I might say some shit that, you know, won't make sense tomorrow. But I'm meant to say that. And that helps me from, like, living in shame and guilt from vomit of the mouth. Every little bit, we're in seasons, different seasons of our life. And seasons change. But as long as I stay clean, and as long as I keep growing, they're not as bad if they feel terrible or if they feel bad. And where I was versus where I am versus where I'm going are all different. But I'm, you know, even in my worst days where I feel discomfort and I'm laying in my bed and I'm tossing and turning, I eventually fall asleep. There was a time that I couldn't even fall asleep, and I would just stare at the ceiling, and I just hated myself. And I can't, you know, like it's getting further and further away from me. So I get to do things like go to work and take care of myself and do things for my kids. My daughter said the most amazing thing to me yesterday. You know, like I was brushing her hair, and she hates when I brush her hair. And she said all kind of mean things to me. And then I was taking them to school, and I told her I loved her, and she said, Daddy, even though I get mad at you, I wouldn't want another daddy. And it just warmed my heart. And it goes to show how far I've really come. And how much they need me. I can get wrapped up in my own shit. Yesterday wasn't the greatest of days. But it wasn't the worst. I can always lean on that statement. With every day I stay clean. And so if somebody's watching this and they're struggling, maybe it's day 1, maybe it's day 5 or day 20, maybe it's day 6 month. Nothing like being out there, right? Whether you were out in the streets or in your house, scared. Don't have to live like it anymore. So today I'm grateful for my recovery. I'm grateful that I have my children. They get to see me. You know, my son, he struggles with eating, and yesterday I made ravioli, and I'm a pretty good cook. And he never eats anything but chicken nuggets and stuff, and I've replaced the chicken nuggets with Impossible nuggets, which he's been eating. And now he ate the ravioli, and he just wanted to show me that he was eating it. I'm so proud of him yesterday. I gave him high fives. I didn't have to yell at him. It was just you know, even though yesterday had some challenges, there was some really good pluses to yesterday. And so give it some time, and things will get a lot better, not just a little. You'll see. You have what it takes. You got this.